The following is a special presentation of First Horizons Green Sports Zone. This is the Tommie's Plumbing, Haun and Sauce Show. Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Tommie's Plumbing, Haun and Sauce Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the West Green Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes baseball and softball teams. We'll split it up this week again. We'll start part one with softball head coach Clinton Haun this week. We'll recap the end of the regular season for the Lady Buffaloes and then the end of the season and the run through the District 1 2A tournament. But before we do that, we need to go ahead and get a quick break in from our sponsors first. So we'll be right back after these messages here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone. The Tommie's Plumbing, Haun and Sauce Show is brought to you by Gateway Ford Nissan and Tommie's Plumbing. Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Tommie's Plumbing, Haun and Sauce Show, where we cover everything on the diamond with the West Green Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes baseball and softball teams. As always, I'm joined here with just Lady Buffaloes softball head coach Clinton Haun. On the first part, Coach, how's it going today?
It's going.
A different setup this time. Most people know this as the Alan Tolliver or Betsy Shaw shows, but a lot of people don't know this is actually your classroom.
It is.
It didn't used to be, but now it has transitioned to your classroom now.
It's the in-school suspension room and choices.
So not a very good classroom to attend during the school day, but a fun classroom to be in after school hours. Mainly just taken up by me and whatever coach I do an interview with after a school day or a practice. But let's talk about the end of the regular season. We sat down last week on the field on a sunny day, and we spoke about Happy Valley traveling down to play the Lady Buffs, and you got a key conference win over the Lady Warriors last Monday by the score of 6-5. Take me through that game, and how good did it feel to get another conference win and to win such a close game?
It was good. I mean, we played pretty good defensively that game. Kind of struggled. We hit the ball, but we struggled hitting the ball. I mean, when we did hit the ball, it was right to somebody. I think there was like 4 or 5 bats in a row. It was like line drives to the outfield. Outfielder didn't have to move for it.
Those are the most annoying.
Cushaw hit one. I mean, I don't think it got 10 feet off the ground, right to the left fielder. I mean, those are. I've told them softball is a funny game. You could hit one on those screws right to somebody and get out. Then you could hit a dribbler and somehow end up on second. I mean, that's just the way it goes on that. But no, we played pretty good. I can't remember. It was a 6-5. Was it tied going into the 7th? Or no, we went extra, didn't we? We went 8 innings.
8 innings, yes.
Yeah, 8 innings. Funny stat line. The Lady Buffs are 3-0 in extra inning games this year.
Okay.
Undefeated.
Happy Valley.
North Green, and Cosby.
That's exactly who I was thinking. I should have spit out Cosby first. Was it Cosby here?
Cosby there. That was the.
That was the 24-19 final?
That was the marathon game.
Yes, okay. For some reason, I was thinking that didn't go to extra innings.
There's been marathon runners finish 26 miles quicker than we finished that game.
And that's actually a fact.
But no, a Happy Valley game, we can't remember who. I think it was Miranda. We got bottom of that. I think it was Miranda on second. And we get to the bottom of the lineup. Victoria came up, hit a hard ground ball through the 3-4 hole, and scored the walk-off, which I don't think she realized she scored the walk-off because they threw it in, and then she took off to second. I realized once Miranda crossed the plate, the game was already over, which I mean, she's trying to be aggressive on the base path. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ever since Happy Valley, we've done a better job putting the ball in play. Haven't had as many strikeout looking. Still a couple swinging, but I'd much rather you go down swinging than looking strike 3 down the pipe. But no, then we turn around. Who had North Green?
North Green after that on Tuesday, traveling over to Baylor.
North Green, it was one of those that kind of. When I say it wasn't us, it wasn't us. We was not ourselves that game. Our two things I always preach that are non-negotiables is attitude and effort. Neither one of them was there. I will say we got down to the top of the fifth, got a couple runners on. I think it was Jackson came up, hit a double or something to right field and scored. It's been a little bit since we've done that.
Cutshaw doubles.
Cutshaw doubles. Score, I know Jackson hit the ball there too, to right field. I can't remember when or where. I was a little aggravated with their attitude and effort and that and their body language. Those are all three controllables. It don't matter how bad of a day you're having or anything like that. You can always control your attitude and effort when you step on the field. But that was neither here nor there. I can't remember who pitched for them.
Turnmeyer
pitched.
Mm-hmm.
She threw a pretty good game. They hit the ball about like North Green hits the ball. Pretty consistent, top to bottom. Then we turn around on Thursday and we host the Lady Green Devils here. Lose it 7-2. The interesting fact about that game is we only struck out 4 times. And we got no hit.
And scored 2 runs.
So, I mean, it was one of those, we put the ball in play. I mean, it was kind of comical how little they had to move to field a ground ball or a fly ball, anything. I mean, I think the longest they had to move on one was 3 steps back on a fly ball to left field. Everything else is just pretty much just right there, 1-2, fall through, throw it to first. We put the ball in play, just got to keep swinging. I mean, I'd much rather swing and ground out than sit there and watch strike 3 go by us. Only good things can happen when you put the ball in play. Well, then we turn around Friday, play Cosby here. It was probably our most well-rounded game we had all season.
18 hits.
18 hits. Minimum, I think we had, 3 errors?
1 error.
1 error.
They had 3 errors.
Yeah, 1 error, and it was just closed the glove too soon. They had 1 inning where they hit the ball. I mean, I think I looked today, Cosby's like 11-5, 10-5, something like that. And 2 of their losses are to us. So, I mean, they're not a bad ball club. I think they ended up finishing second in their district behind Hancock County to a coin flip.
Did it come down to a coin flip? I hate that.
They don't have run differential or anything like that. They
don't have draw numbers or anything either. They just...
It came down to a coin flip. Hancock County beat them by 1 run. Cosby beat them by, I think, 6.
And they don't have a run differential
And
rule.
it came down to a coin flip, which Cosby lost it, which, I mean, I think they had to play Washburn first game. But, no, we played pretty good there. And then that's probably our most well-rounded game. I think everybody had a hit that game. About everybody had multiple hits. I think one or two had 1. But everybody, we had production from top to bottom. I think everybody scored. I can't remember.
All but 2. All but 2 scored and all but 1 had a hit.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, that one player who falls under both categories that didn't get a hit or a run did get 2 RBIs though.
Yeah.
So even when you didn't have success in some areas,
it's still productive outs.
Not a single player went without a run, hit, or RBI. Everybody had at least 1.
I mean, you score a run on an out, hey, I'll take that every day. If your out's productive, even if it just moves a runner from base to base, it's a productive out. We can still work with it.
Also, no walks.
Yes, no walks.
No walks.
Now, and the crazy part about it, you go back to the first game against Cosby, I think we had 14 walks. It It was literally a walk fest. Now we had
14 walks, yes.
we had different umpires. Had a lot better strike zone the second game than we did the first game, which made a big difference. I think the game only lasted like an hour and 40 minutes instead of 4 hours.
So you could have got 2 games
We could have
in the
played
amount of time.
We could have played a doubleheader and got done quicker than what we did the first time.
2 7 innings in a doubleheader also, not just a modified.
And then turn around Monday, start the district tournament. Went up to Lower Afton, play the Lady Black Knights, and just kind of kept on where we came out from Cosby. I mean, we hit the ball. I think everybody had a hit but one, and then even those outs were still productive.
Same thing. Klusman, the only one without a hit. She gets an RBI and was the one that pitched 5 scoreless innings. So
I mean, I can live with not getting a hit when the past 2 games on that she pitched the way she did. I mean, it's still being productive. I mean, and that's a good thing. I mean, and that's the thing I hated about having to go up to Unicoi. I mean, if there's another AA team that's better than them in the state, I might give you $100, Nichols. I just don't think there is. I ain't gonna shake on it, but I'm just saying, if they ain't in the state championship game, there's something wrong. No, we went up there. I mean, they just hit the ball. We hit better. We done better. We hit the ball better off Bird. We still put it in play than we did the first time. First time we went up there, we went hitless. We had 2 hits last night against them, which, I mean, she's going to be a D1 pitcher, and it's tough outing when you're just a high school player and freshman, sophomore both got a hit off of her, which is bright for the future. I wish our tournament was double elimination, but I think hopefully we go to that next year. I just hate the season ended the way it did because we was finally just figuring out how to play softball. I mean, with the past couple week and a half, 2 weeks, we finally learned to start how to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and we started getting results here and there. I mean, not every one of them was wins, but there was at least a lot more competitive games than what they had been.
And this is one of those interviews where we're splitting it into 2 parts, so I guess we won't take the commercial break since we'll have one in the middle that'll bridge between your part and Sauce's part, and we'll jump into the end-of-year conversations that we normally have in these shows, and that's kind of recapping the season as a whole, going through some of just your favorite memories, moments, and games. The first one I think I always start with is favorite memories from the year, and they don't necessarily have to be ones that we see out on the field during games. They could be during practice, they could be on the bus, they could be in here watching film. What have been some of your favorite memories that you'll always remember with this year's team?
Well, one of them is when we go on away games, especially if it's a longer trip, we try to stop and get something to eat on the way up. Some of the girls hadn't even had Subway before.
Have never had Subway?
Had never had Subway. I'm not going to call out names. You know who you are. And that's where they wanted to go last night to eat before we ended up going to Pal's. But had never had Subway before and actually figured out they actually liked it. So just branching out, kind of maturity levels, I think, memory. We grew from last season to this season maturity-wise. I mean, but the bus rides are always interesting. Some of the conversations you hear, I ain't going to spill beans on anybody, but the bus rides are always interesting. I think sometimes they think I'm not listening, but
sometimes they don't realize how much you can hear inside of a bus.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very compact area, and
sound travels
in a metal bus.
But no, I always enjoy the bus rides. It's nice not have to get a field ready. Getting to talk on the way up with Jay and Steve. But shout out to both of our bus drivers. Thank you for taking us to our away trips.
I would say Jay's not made an appearance, but I've still got another half of the show to do.
He's
after
still got
this,
enough,
so
and he's still got some mowing he's got to get done.
there's enough daylight outside too that he might make an appearance. So I may have jinxed you right there.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna be me. He ain't coming in here, I don't think. And then we hear the door. Hee hee! What you up, boys?
If he does, I'll leave. I'll leave if he does.
But I appreciate the bus drivers getting us to the games, bringing us back. It's a job not a lot of people think about that makes sports go around is bus drivers getting us to the games.
A lot of moving parts.
And I appreciate both of them.
What have been some of your favorite moments throughout the season also? Just some that come to mind from this year's team is the marathon with Cosby, the win versus Chucky Doak in the district tournament, the win versus North Green at the beginning of the year. Just a lot of moments that you can take with you from this team. What have been some of your favorite moments that this team has created?
Probably the first Cosby game was one of them. I mean, we're down 9 in the bottom of the 5th, and they have the run rule scoring run on 3rd, and we end up getting the strikeout. We're down 9 when we come in the top of the 6th. We go out to the bottom of the 6th, we're up 1. And just the grit, determination, I think we ended up scoring, I think it was like 18 runs and from the 6th inning on. But just the grit and determination the girls showed to fight back through that game, even though it could have been very easy to be down 9 runs to lay down. I'll remember. I probably won't ever forget Victoria's walk off against Happy Valley here. I mean, that was at a certain point of the season. She struggled a little bit there towards the back half, and then to come out and have a moment like that. I mean, when you struggle, it gets very discouraging, and to have the grit to fight through that and to come in with a game-winning hit, especially in a conference game when you need them, it was very good. And probably one I probably will never forget is Cutshaw's home run at Cherokee, which a lot of people probably know or probably don't know. Her little sister plays at Cherokee, plays second base. And when she hit the ball, hit it out, her sister met her at second base. I think her sister was more excited for her than she was. And it's moments like that make it special. But another one, what game was it? Miranda got beat up behind the plate. I think she got hit. Foul tips, everything. I think she got hit like 9 or 10 times. And then we had to play the next day, and she jumped right back behind the plate. She took a bat off the hand up at Chucky Doak Monday, had her fingers splinted and cramping up, and never came out. I mean, she's a tough player. Just seeing the maturity growth of Autumn Carter from freshman year to now. If you'd have told me she would have been our leadoff hitter and batting almost 340, I probably laughed at you. But when she came in as a freshman, she batted right-handed, and told her, I said, girl, I said, let's use your speed to your advantage. Let's start working on slapping. And she looked at me, I mean, kind of like I was an idiot, which sometimes I am. But she is taken to that like a fish to water.
Is that where the nickname came from?
Slappy, Slappopotamus, Slappy Gilmore. Sauceman's gave her quite a few of them. I was proud, like Abby, her maturity, just mature growth of the game, of being able to control the game and not letting the game get to her from her freshman to sophomore year. It's like I told her today, I was like, I'm proud of it. I mean, she pitched double the innings this year and hit less batters, hit almost half of what she hit last year and double the innings, and had more strikeouts and walks. I mean, just the mature growth that she showed and the work that she's put in is phenomenal. I told her, I said, if you can keep that up, I said, you're going to be one heck of a ball player. Cutshaw, I mean, she came in, she missed most of the summer workouts, most of the off-season stuff. kind of spelled here and there the first 2.5 weeks, and to come back and she was one hit shy of hitting 400 for the year.
Wow.
With 21 RBIs. I mean, for what she had to go through for senior year, knowing that she may not even get to have a senior year, for her to come out and have the year she did is phenomenal. And you got Kaylee Willett. She makes our infield look a lot better than it does sometimes. Her ability to pick the ball at first.
It's a hidden art in the game of first base.
It is, and that's one good thing I like about having somebody who's caught before. It makes it picking at first a lot easier, because you got picking stuff behind the plate some here and there, but it makes it a lot easier when you know how to do it. And then you get over down to Aubrey Everett. I love her heart. She struggled the first half of the year, and I think it was like Tiny Day on, she batted a little bit over. I think it was like 320. With 3 RBIs, three triples. About had an inside the park home run against, I think it was South Green here. But just her mature growth from a freshman on. That's like them 2 seniors. I came in with them, and it's something about when you've been with them for 4 years. It's my first group I've had for 4 years that I've seen when they come in as freshmen, having to be picked up after practice to drive themselves homes.
And driving teammates home.
And getting ready to graduate. You see a big part of their maturity level of their life kind of flash before your eyes.
I think a lot of the younger tenured coaches that I talk to always talk about that. Their first senior groups are always more special.
That's like I told them last night. I said, I don't, when later on in life, I don't feel like I have to worry about them too, because it could have been real easy when we were struggling at the beginning of the year to kind of pack it up. When things ain't going your way, it's real easy to kind of fold it up and kind of wash your hands of it. But just the act of showing up is half the battle. And I know they're going to do great things when it comes to life. They've had to face some adversity. Right now, they're winning this senior class, and I don't know when. They're part of the cornerstone of turning this program around from where it had been to where we're at now. I'm proud of both of them. And then you got Abigail Jackson come in as a freshman, have to pitch. Put her in the outfield day one. She's one of those kids. She has an infectious smile. You look at her, she's always smiling. Sometimes it makes me hurt to think that you can smile that much. But she done a great job. I think she batted like 330 for the year as a freshman. That's phenomenal. I'm excited to see her growth over the next 3 years. Then you got the old war horse there, Miranda Hunter. 61 at-bats. And saw 354 pitches.
That's almost right at 6 pitches in at bat.
She was one of those. She'd get in, you tell her to battle. She would make a pitcher get frustrated. I can't tell you how many times she had 8, 9, 10 pitch at bats. And just eating to a pitcher's pitch count. I looked the other day. We played one more game this year than we did last year, and we saw, I think it was right at 450 more pitches this year than we did last year.
She's a big reason for that.
And and it wasn't just her. All of them battled in the box. Now, did we win every battle? No, but we at least went down fighting when we was in the box. That's one thing I can say, that we didn't really lay down when we was in their batter's box. And against a lot of pitchers we faced, it could have been easy to do that. But we stayed in there and kept battling. That's like the 7 games we won this year. We had 22 out RBIs and batted at 375 with runners in scoring position in those games. And that makes a difference if you can have those numbers and winning ball games and not winning ball games. Then Amanda Oliver, she was up at Chucky Doke. We're getting ready to go hit, and she comes in, and Tim was running, going back across the field, just a smiling. And she breaks down crying because how cute he is smiling. She says he's always smiling. And she's one of those kids you just can't help but love them. She'll give you everything you got. I think if you asked her to run through a brick wall, she'd think about it, but I think she'd do it. She had a little bit of, didn't have the quite year she had last year, but she fought through some stuff, and I think she'll come back tougher because of it. And then had Victoria. She was in the DP spot from start to finish. I mean, she started out the season off hot and then kind of hit that wall. And then there towards the end of the year, she picked it back up, had some hits in key moments. She had a two RBI against Chucky Doke Monday. She laced one right across between second and the second baseman to score two, and it was them 2 runs that kind of put the nail in the coffin. That kind of just made that game go from, all right, well, we can score a run here, run there, get back in it, keep it to kind of breaking it back open. And then we had Chloe Puckett. She played center for us. I think she's going to be a dandy out there. Didn't get to hit as much. When she did have an at bat, it was kind of an anomaly. She didn't have a hit this year, but her on base percentage was almost 400. So I mean, she's one of those that when she is in there, she'd have 6-7 pitch at bat. So I mean, and to have that maturity of seeing pitches and not really chasing after them as a freshman is a good quality to have. And then we got Ella, the base running queen. I tried to put her in when we needed a chance to have somebody to score. We need a little more speed. And she'd go out there and she'd run them bases. I think she had 1 or 2 at bats during the year, but as 11, I mean, each one of these girls, they have a different identity. Each team has a different identity, but I think this is one of those teams I don't think I'll ever forget.
What have been some of your favorite games that you've experienced with these girls? Is Cosby on that?
Cosby's on that. That Cosby game kind of reminds me of that 2018 team when I helped with baseball. When the lights went out. When the lights went out, that was kind of that same kind of feel to it. To be able to have that grit and tenacity to fight back through some adversity to find a way to come out with a win. That one, the North Green game, first game. I mean, it was one of those that is kind of back and forth, but neither one of us could really muster enough runs across to break through, and ended up going to extra innings to find a way to win that one. That was a fun game. There's a couple more. The last Cosby game and this Chucky Doke game, wins are always fun. I've always said, I say it during football, sports is supposed to be fun. Winning makes them funner.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always said when you go out and have fun, you get results. That's the main thing. I have to tell the girls every time before the game, go have fun. And because you're getting to play a kid's game as a pre-adolescent adult, go have fun. Not everybody gets to do that.
What will you remember the most about this team? It's the last question I'll have.
Somehow I got the nickname Sensei. I don't know.
Sensei. Okay.
I don't know where it came from, but they started calling me Sensei out of the blue. I still don't understand it. I guess it's Han, because it may sound. I don't know. You'd have to ask them where.
Sensei Han.
I have no idea. No, this group's like. I mean, every team I've had's been. I've enjoyed every team, but every team is different. and each player makes that team different, but it still makes it enjoyable. I mean, I hated this year had to end, but I mean, then you get to look forward to next season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that, even though it's 10 months away. I'm still excited to see where these girls will be able to come back, where their growth, maturity, and all that, and how well they take to the game turns out.
That's all I've got for you, Coach. It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
once again this year. It's good to finally do an interview of yours in your actual classroom.
Well, we could have done it behind the desk, but then you'd have to look at my Alabama Cowboy stuff.
No, I don't want to do that.
Then I got my softball wall over there.
Yeah, noticed the softball wall. I noticed it actually during basketball this year. That's all we got. We'll go ahead and dive into the break, and we'll go ahead and talk with Coach Sauce about the end of his regular season, a terrific run through the district tournament, and what to expect in regions. So, thank you to Coach Haun once again, and we'll see you right after this break here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.
For over 30 years, Tommie's Plumbing has proudly served the Tri-Cities with a personal touch, because we're not just plumbers, we're family. From simple faucet repairs to full plumbing repiping, we have the experience and expertise to get the job done right. We also specialize in water heater and tankless water heater installations, helping you find the perfect solution for your home. Our technicians stand behind their work and always leave your space clean and spotless. Looking for a plumber who's fast, professional, and reliable? Call Tommie's Plumbing and let our family take care of yours.
At many dealerships, you get what you'd expect. Games, gimmicks, and shady sales tactics. At Gateway Nissan in Greenville, expect the unexpected. Low prices, convenient service, and a great buying experience.
Get our Gateway exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty.
No worries for life.
You deserve the unexpected. It's the #1 reason you gotta get to Gateway.
Shop online at GatewayNissanGreenville.com.
Or take the super short drive down Highway 11E to Gateway Nissan in Greenville.
Welcome back to First Horizons Green Sports Zone, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Tommie's Plumbing Haun and Sauce Show, where we cover everything on the fields with the West Green baseball and softball teams. We did the first half with Coach Haun, so now we're into the second half now, joined here with baseball head coach Adrian Sauceman. Coach, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
And doing good. It's another different show this week. I actually did a show in Coach Haun's room with Coach Haun for the first time, not
His new room.
Betsy Shaw or Alan Tolliver show, an actual
His
Haun show in his own room. Yeah, we're in a different spot too, just because we move about a foot behind us. Can't really tell, but there's some light drizzle going on.
Got a little precipitation at the Buddy today. That's good. We needed it though.
So. Yeah, I don't mind sitting out in it. Just don't know how bad it could get.
Right.
I was walking out and Jonan asked if my microphone was waterproof, and I said I think we might do it in the dugout today.
Yeah. I was a little worried about practice today, but it ended up being real nice. So.
Games have been canceled, or not canceled, but postponed, and I think that's been everybody's main worry. Wednesday and Thursday is what games will we get in.
Yeah.
I don't know if any will get in today. I haven't really looked around the area, but I think only one scheduled in the county. Not getting that in, so the night off, and I know you all have the night off too, going into regions on Friday. And to do that, you had a trip through the district tournament. We've got 2 games at the end of the regular season to talk about, and we'll talk about the district tournament as a whole. But everybody watching this probably knows the crazy week that you had last week, between 2 comeback wins and last Wednesday's activities and Saturday. Just a lot went into the district tournament last week. So how happy are you to be into regions once again for the 5th year in a row?
Yeah. Very excited for it. It's something that we're pretty proud of, and something that you got to put a lot of work into, and you got to have some luck, and all those things kind of mix in together, and it's a good feeling when it turns out your way, for sure.
And you go through the end of the regular season with GP and Cumberland Gap. I want to touch on those real quick, just because I wrote about it too. There's something about the Buffaloes in the district tournament, and I want to get into that, talk about those. But you finished the year with an 11-1 win over GP and a 5-4 win against Gap to move you into the district tournament. How good was it to end off both of those regular season home games with wins?
It was big, because about a week and a half, 2 weeks prior to that, we really wasn't playing too well. And then we kind of got it kind of going back to where we kind of felt like we needed to be. Had still lost a game or two mixed in with that, but we were playing better. And then to just finish off the regular season like that, it was pretty big. GP, it's a pretty good team. Now I think we put up 8 runs in the second inning there. Had a little bit of help from him, but we also hit the ball with it too. And Jaden's throwing that game, and he did what he does. He threw it well, and it was good to come out with. I guess that was a run rule win, 6 innings on that one, and it was good to get that one for sure. And then on that Monday, we start the district tournament on Tuesday, and I kind of debated back and forth on whether to play it or not play it. But at the same time, I was like, I don't like canceling games for one. Got a really good relationship with those guys over at Gap, and they would have understood if we did cancel it. But it's like, man, let's just go play it, and let's just have a long week. And that's certainly what we did. I think we threw 4 guys in that Gap game. Jonan come in, and I'm expecting 25, 35 pitches out of Jonan, and he gets us 3 innings. I think that eclipsed his season total going into the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he'd only thrown like 2 1/3, something like that going into the game. So it was big to see him produce like that, because everybody else we were keeping on a 25 limit because, like I said, we were starting tournament the next day.
Carp with 25, Jaden with 17.
We brought Jaden in 17 there at the end to close it off. I think that gave him his 2nd save of the year. Brandon's got 4. That's a school record for us.
Really?
Yeah. Hadn't put that out there yet, but that's school record. So Brandon's the only one that didn't throw really in that game, I think. Yeah, and then we get ready to start tournament, and it's it's something we talked about. We want to have a long week, and we felt like throwing Bronson game 1 gave us the best chance to have a long week. And going into it, really, Bronson had, over the last couple of weeks, he had been our 2nd or maybe 3rd best pitcher. He pitches to contact. He fills up the strike zone. He don't walk very many people. If he can get soft contact, he's really good. It's just when people barrel him up a little bit, he has trouble then. But most of the time, he can get some soft contact. And he pitched well against South Green. They ended up putting, I think, 3 runs on him there towards the end of his outing. And a couple of those guys, I think, were on base when we pulled him. And brought Brandon in. I think he immediately gave up those 1 or 2 runs, but he settled in too. South Green, to their credit, man, they played as good as I've seen them all year. It wasn't like we went into that thing overlooking them or anything like that. They just played well, and fielders threw it well, kept us off balance with a lot of things, and we were just fortunate to pull out the win in the end. We didn't really deserve that win, I didn't think.
Going back, I asked you about it after the game. How did you get it done? And you didn't know in the moment. Do you know by now?
Well, we've had so many other things. I hadn't taken a whole lot of time to think about it, but it's one of them things. Like, I don't think we deserved to win, but man, I'm sure glad that we did. And I'd much rather be on that side to not deserve it and get it than to deserve it and not get it. So we just, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's a special day for Ethan Carpenter here because today he officially signed with Bryan College, but it was also a special day for him last Tuesday whenever he had the walk-off hit there, and he steps up to the plate, and you've got Seth Julian on second base. How much confidence do you have in Carp in that moment?
Carp, yeah.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, you do. Carp, and I think you asked him in an interview what was going through his mind, and he said, I need to swing the bat and hit the ball. I'm like, well, yeah, Carp, that's it. So let's not over complicate it. I mean, that's baseball. So, but no, he and what the kid was doing, where he was pitching, I think was good for Carp. He's good going middle oppo. He had a walk off here North Green last year.
Was that him?
That was him.
Okay.
That was the night that the lights went off and on a couple times there.
I was here. I didn't remember that was him.
Yeah, that was him. Got the walk-off too. Really the same hit, just about 30 feet over that way. So, that was big. I mean, we're expecting contact out of him, and we get it there. Was I extremely confident we were going to score on the play? Probably not. because the play prior, Seth, love his heart, man. He's fast. He's really all year he's been a good base runner for us, especially in JV games, and varsity games when he's been given the opportunity. But it was probably a big moment to throw him in. 7th inning and district tournament game, all that stuff. But maybe I expected a little bit too much. But pop fly to right field, and he's at second base
with one out.
Yeah, with one out, and I tell him to tag, and he tags, and remains at second base. So it was fun. Learning opportunity there, I guess. We can look at it that way. So he's on second. If he's on third when Ethan hits that ball, there's no question.
No question. Yeah.
It's easy, but we like to make it hard on ourselves, I guess. So, but right off the bat, I knew I was seeing him and was just hoping throw was offline a little bit or
and
whatever.
Again,
and it was a good throw.
I've mentioned it so many times. Zach Mason had a great throw because the reason that I ask is because you see a one hitting the middle infield, and it was hit. I wouldn't say it was scorched. I wouldn't say it was a slow roller, but it went through where both fielders kind of converged and watched it go by.
Yeah.
And you go from second to home, and you think that's an easy walk off right there. But man, it was close to a bang bang play. So
close.
Credit to Mason again for having the arm to get it there. But you get that win, and then you advance to Wednesday's activities, and this is what I really want to talk about because. It's always something in the district tournament every year, whether there's youth softball games going on or just a lot of rain that forces venue changes. But this time you come from from Afton to Mosheim to play at West Green instead of last year where you went from West Green to Chucky Doak. But Wednesday, the game gets moved because of rain in the lower Afton area. We didn't get a lot up here. And the game is moved. So, of course, not many people know about how the game gets moved and everything. So what was that coordination like whenever you're on the field and they're trying to get the field ready and you decide, or actually everybody decides to come play here?
Yeah, so we get up there. It was supposed to be a 5:30 start.
Yes.
So we got up there, 4:15, 4:20, somewhere in that range, and get ready to start stretching. I'm pulling out my radar, kind of looking at it, because it's calling for a little bit of band coming through. It gets to right about 5 o'clock, and it's right on top of us. They get ready. They go ahead and tarp up the mound and the plate just to protect against some rain there. We go ahead and pull our guys in. They're in the dugouts, and then it just freaking dumps on us for 20, 25 minutes probably. Yeah. I mean, it's just like on the radar, you can see it moving through pretty quick, and it's just like it got to the lower raft and it just got stuck. I don't know if there's a stop sign there for it or what, but it just stayed there.
It saw the mountains and decided it didn't want to go any further.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a pretty good amount of rain there, and we walked, and the field was pretty wet anyways because we got 1.5 inches of rain the day before, and it, for us.
Yeah, because it was, I would say.
For the South Green game.
It's fortunate, you got that in.
Me and 2 or 3 other people, we worked from about 10 o'clock on trying to get the field ready to play here. And, Jacob wasn't in a position where he had to do that the day before because they wasn't playing there. So probably a little bit of extra moisture up there that we had got rid of here. So we're getting ready to, at 5 o'clock, rains. We go out there and looking at it, and it's just a lake out there behind second base. It's kind of a low spot, and everything converges right there. So we're looking at that, and it's their field. They know. We all have to take care of our own fields here, so we all know our fields pretty well. And he's looking at that, thinking that there's not really a chance to play tonight, Wednesday night. So he asked, what mine looks like. I was like, I don't know, but I can find out real quick. So I called Jay, Big Jay Early.
Second time he gets mentioned today.
Shout out to Jay.
Off topic, we were in Haun's classroom doing the show, and I said, it's a lot of daylight outside, and I still got another half of this show. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes an appearance out here sometime, which he didn't make it on the show, but when we were out here before the show, he did drive by. So
he drove by just to check it out.
Shout out Jay.
But he was sitting on the porch, and he said he had just watched it rain. I said, well, how much did it rain? And he come over here and looked, and he videoed it. And then my wife was coming through about the same time, and she FaceTimed me, and we're looking, and I've got it with Jacob there. And I mean, you could tell it had rained a little bit, but it was firm enough to play on. So, you know, he said, well, we're just going down there and play it. I said, yes. So we went, and 7:15 start time, whatever it was. Got down here, I started to drag it, but it was just like I was just going to drag around a little bit of wet on top. It wouldn't have done any good, so we didn't even drag it. We just played.
Yeah, I think each team just warmed up and played.
You know, one, like, if you keep your field ready, like, you never know what might happen, you know. So, but yeah. So then we actually got to start the game.
How weird did that feel batting first?
We've done it a few times here because
Buddy Hawk Classic, do you do that?
Not in that. We're always a home team, but we've hosted the district tournament here 2 or 3 different times over the years. It's a weird feeling, but in that game, I think it was good for us because we got the opportunity to start out first, and Jonah got us rocking right there, first pitch of the game. So he sent a ground rule double out to right, and then they get the next 2 guys out, and you know, we finally get him in, and we scored 2 more. We get 3 in the top of the first there, and that was huge to come out and get that on Crum. I don't remember who all did what.
Brandon Hunter singled to score Joan and Bath, and then Julian Greenlee singled, and then Aiden Witt walked below the bases, and then Bronson Brown singles to score 2.
Bronson had a good week, offense and defense.
Yeah, he'll get mentioned again later.
Yeah, we do that in the top of the first. Made me feel real good about that, knowing I had Jaden going. Because, dude, he's been rock solid all year for us. And they got us in a couple jams. I think the second and third inning, I think they loaded up the bases
both times,
and forced Jaden into 30-plus pitches each time. So, you know, after the third inning, his pitch count is ballooned up there big time. And then fourth, fifth, and maybe the sixth, I think he really quick kind of settled in a groove there, and we got an extra couple runs late. And then we go to Carp to finish it off in the 7th there, and we come out with that. That was a huge win. If we don't win that game, I don't think we're playing today or playing this week, because I don't know that we're able to survive, you know, what Chuckydoke had to do going back through the losers bracket. I don't know that we're able to survive that. So that was critical for us to go out and throw Jaden in that first game. And
there were so many parallels to the South Green game the night before too. And one thing I mentioned to Matthew in our broadcast was, you know, West Green made their comeback in the 6th inning by starting out with runners on. Were 2 runners on with no outs, and Chuckydoke did that same thing in the same exact inning with a single and then a double to put runners on 2nd and 3rd with no outs. When that's the case, and you're thinking that you could were you thinking that you could be on the opposite side of what happened on Tuesday in the South Green game at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, all those things kind of run through your mind a little bit. And, you know, in that moment, we're just trying to figure out how to get the next out, you know, and I didn't want to bring Carp in until the 7th inning. But also at the same time, it's one of them things you got to do what you got to do if that happens. And
Jaden was also close to his pitch count.
111, I think is what
111
he finished with. It's getting up there for sure.
Jimmy wanted the complete game shutout for highlight's sake, so he was a little disappointed after the 6th inning, and I don't think any of us knew that he was that close to the limit, so we kind of understood after that. Like,
yeah, and we got kind of bailed out a little bit there with Christian, I guess, there, didn't we? That's that line drive out there we got
right
double
field,
play on. Yeah. He comes in on the first step. I'm like, crap.
I thought he missed it.
I did too.
Yeah.
He recovered, though, got to out, and then got to out at 2nd, because I think the runner at 2nd probably thought he was getting by him too. So got him there, and importantly on that too, the runner at 3rd, I think it was a little mix up there too, and he didn't end up scoring on that play either. So we got it out. It was a double play, and the runner at 3rd didn't score. That was huge. Then we find a way to get out of it, and then Carp comes in for the 7th, and Bronson gets all 3 defensive outs, and
He did, yeah.
that's a wrap.
That Bronson again, he'll get mentioned again, but just his defensive play there at the end of that game was spectacular. And you move on past that, and of course you've got just 2 incredible wins with the comeback win over South Green and then the win over Chucky Doak. And then you go into Unicoi County, and you don't have either pitchers, of course, using them in both of those games. And then you go into that game, and you still play a lot better than I think a lot of people expected, taking an early lead, putting 4 on Unicoi County, which a lot of teams in the district weren't able to even muster 4 hits. So how proud were you with how they played following 2 momentum-building games?
It was a really difficult game. If we had like one more Jaden Cox, we could throw it out there. You know what I mean? We had to be smart with our pitching, which was a difficult thing to do because on the competitive side of it, Eli threw great. 25 pitches got him, I think, 2 2/3 innings. Could we have left him in and potentially win that game? I don't know. You're kind of in that spot where you don't really know for sure which way it's going to go. We felt like based on like the last 2 or 3 batters that he'd faced that they were getting ready to time him up. And if that's the case and they time you up and then they beat you and you don't have him available for the next day, then you've wasted him, So we kind of, what do we go to Brandon next for a few?
Is this the 9-4 game?
Yeah.
Bronson
started. He went 25.
And then it goes Eli, then Brandon, and then finish with Carp again.
Yeah, and we went to Carp right there too to try to kind of hold it at bay. And we go somebody after Carp.
No, it was you pitched 6 innings because Unicoi didn't bat the bottom of the 7th.
That's right. I mean, gave ourselves a chance. Pitching wise, it was. I feel like we in a 9-run game or you give up 9 runs, you don't feel real good about it. But especially early in the game, we gave ourselves a chance. It's a couple of defensive plays that hurt us. Mostly in the infield, just didn't handle things very well. And we did hit Harris though, and it's not many people have this year. And then we got those 2 runs late, extended that out as well. So I mean, a lot of positives to take from it. But we're in that situation too. After we beat Chucky Doak the first time, you got to win 1 more. Do whatever you got to do to win that 1 more game. So.
And then you go into Saturday, and that 1 more has to do with beating Chucky Doak again. And it's another incredible game with the Black Knights, and it comes down to the wire, which I don't think anybody in Northeast Credit Union Ballpark would have expected any differently with the way that the district tournament always goes with the Buffaloes. But you find a way once again, trailing 4-2 going into the 7th to score 3, and then you get out of a jam in the 7th. And there's a lot of other moments through that whole entire ball game that led up to that. But when that ball game finally ends right there, was it what were you feeling?
A lot of different emotions right there. Relieved, happy, satisfied in some ways. A lot of different things going on there. A lot of emotions. That meant a lot to the boys. I know that. Meant a lot to them. So that game was tight the whole way too.
They go up 1-1. You immediately they go up 1-0 in the bottom of the 1st. You tie it 1-1 immediately after bottom of the 2nd. They don't score again until the bottom of the 4th to go up 2-1. You immediately respond again in the top of the 5th to tie it 2-2. Then they take the 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th, and that's where it holds until you score those 3 in the 7th. So you wouldn't die easy.
Never die mentality, man. That's kind of what we try to be, and it was definitely on display in that game. And in that 7th inning too, we leading off with Jonan, top of the lineup, and feeling pretty good about that. And he pops up first thing, so it's now you're staring at down 2 runs in the 7th, and you got 1 out right off the board. So to mount a comeback after that too, I think was pretty big. We got good pitching all through that game. Defense was great in that game. and just picking our spot. And Murray, their pitcher, he threw a great game. Kept us off balance. He's got a ton of movement and stuff. Threw well. It's just it was our day. And we come out defensively in the bottom, and they put a scare in it. They first and second.
Yeah.
We end up finding a way to get out of it though, and that was it. So big game, a lot of emotions in that. When we played here on Wednesday, I think that was the best game we'd played all year, and I think kind of an emotionally charged game, both teams, and it's easier to do it here, or if it had been a Chucky Doak too, just because your people are here. You go up somewhere an hour away, you don't necessarily have it. And it's a big field.
That's what I was about to say. Bigger field for it's certain.
And it's, even like fan wise, you can't feed off as much fan energy at a place like that because they're farther away from you. Here they're right on top of you. In Chucky Doak, they're in their dugout with you. Feels like. But to create our own energy, and that was big. My man Skylar Thornburg, we proclaimed him the Secretary of Energy on that Saturday. Before the game, I told him that was his new job title, and he stepped up, dude.
Speaking of energy, I got to ask this too. Who does the King Julian voice? Who does Mort's voice?
I don't even know. It's pretty good, though.
It's spot on. I just need to know who does the Mort
It's probably
voice.
Skylar, honestly, but I don't know. I don't know who it does. All that stuff, I try to distance myself from it a little bit.
You can't help but
I
hear
mean, they
that
don't
one,
say
though,
anything
yeah.
bad. Like, if they did, we would stop it. But, I try not to get involved with all that stuff.
And then that one ends, and you're excited. The boys storm the field, and then you kind of have to wash that away and then get straight to the district championship game. You got to go right into Unicoi County, and you suffer a 10-0 defeat in that one, but it was one of those things I think we talked after the game where you just not much pitching left, exert all that energy the game before. You're just surviving to live another day, and then you get Unicoi County. It's kind of just like, all right, let's.
At that point, you're moving on, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
We, as soon as that game was over, we went down. Of course, it's a big game, big moment. So, like, we're celebrating that or whatever, and then I was like, all right. We're about to play again in 30 minutes. Eli, it's yours, big dog. And after that, after him, it's pretty much guys that are primarily thrown JV. So it's like, you got us as long as you can get us. And
Have fun.
We'll go with whatever we can go after that. We had Brandon we could have thrown. I didn't want to in that second game because he threw 42, 44 pitches, something like that in the first game. But the way that game was,
42.
and as big as that game was, and as emotionally charged and as tight as it was, that 42 feels like about 82.
That's exactly what I was going to say. 42 in 3 innings.
That's 42 very stressful pitches.
I mean, that's 15.6 pitches an inning right there, which, doesn't seem like...
Man, where'd you go to school at?
But it just the weight of those moments that he was in felt like he was throwing an entire game.
It did. And he's in that fireman role for us, and really kind of has been all year. So we expected nothing less from him, but it takes a toll. And I've been there before. 42 don't sound like much, but when it's in that situation, it's a lot. So the only way we was going to throw him in that second game is if it was like a closeout save situation. So I think what do we go to Brad and Skylar after that?
Caldwell and then Thornburg, I
Yeah.
think were the last names.
The Secretary of Energy there, Mr.
I'm
Thornburg.
going to it right now. Yeah,
And
Caldwell.
he threw
Thornburg.
well. He's got a little slider. It ain't going very fast, but it's good little movement, good drop to it. He got out Mr. Colby Jones. That dude should be a Mr. Baseball finalist for 2A, in my opinion. But
I didn't see. Did he win Player of the Year?
he
in this
co-MVP.
Okay. Who was co with?
I think it was Crum.
Fair.
Had a good year. Colby, dude, I told him when we went up here to Unicoi, it's like the second week of the season, I was like, my gosh, you look like a third-year redshirt college senior. He's a grown man. So, and Skylar got him out. But the second time he got up, he had to walk off double.
That's when I realized how big of a field that is at Elizabethton,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
that goes out.
Well, if that's at Unicoi, it's knocking out a window in that house up there.
If it's at Chucky Doke, it's out. If it's here, it's probably out.
If that ball's at Chucky Doke, it clears the football field.
Also, Elizabethton, 338, 339 to left field, and it's a 20-foot wall.
Yeah, it's a pretty good shot.
I understand because they put that ballpark in the middle of a neighborhood, so I don't think the neighbors right there want a
The
home
HOA
run ball.
Don't want.
No, I don't think they want a home run ball landing in the living room when they're
Right.
watching late night television.
I'll
but-
give you a funny on our bullpen scenarios there in that game. I told and he's gonna kill me if he listens to this. I told Julian Greenlee he needs to go get loose because if we need to go some after Skylar, it's gonna be him. I don't know if you've seen Julian pitch this year or not.
Mm-mm.
You know what the speed limit is out here on the 4-lane?
Is it 55 right there?
Yeah, Julian, he's not speeding with his fastball. He's not breaking the speed limit. So I told you, I said, go down there and get loose. And you know, pitches are being made, whatever. And I turned back around. I swear it wasn't 3 minutes later. And he's standing there watching the game. I'm like, Julian, did you go through? He said, yeah, I already did. I was like, then I turned back around. I said, oh, well, it don't take you long to get warmed up. He said, man, that ain't right. He just kind of smacked me on the shoulder. So. But it don't take long to warm that up. But I'm not proud of the guys, though, man. You know, even that Unicoi game, the 10-0 right there, early in that game, first 3 innings, we're right there in it. You know, and Eli's throwing, and Eli's been good for us this year. It's just kind of one of them things. Eventually, they're going to get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's rocking a knuckleball out there, and it was good. But eventually, good hitting teams are going to hit it. And that's actually the third time that they'd seen him because he pitched a little bit up there in the season, and in that Friday game, he threw those 25. So, and if we'd have burned him on Friday with 25, we would have had nobody to start out with in the championship game. So, but we're moving on. That's the big thing.
Then I believe wrapping up the district tournament, I believe Joan and Bath, Jaden Cox, and help me with the last one. That's who Ethan Carpenter make the all-tournament team.
Yeah, and if there would have been if we would have got another one, or if there would have been a honorable mention or whatever, Bronson Brown.
Bronson, yeah.
100%. You know, he had a walk off.
We said we were going to mention him. We didn't even mention that, he had the hit against Chucky Doke. He had the go-ahead hit.
He did.
Going back to it, I meant to wrap up the district tournament with that, but we did forget to mention him when I said we would. But
had some solid defense this week too.
Another kid we'll mention too because he had solid defense. We'll mention him in just a minute. But Bronson gets up there and there's 2 outs. There's runners on second and third, and the season's on the line. I mean, I haven't spoke to him about it, but what is your idea when he's up to bat right there? Like, what approach do you want him to take in that situation?
It's something that we had talked about. They like, if you get anything middle away, don't do anything with it. Don't do anything too crazy with it, and just go middle oppo with it. And he took that approach and ran with it, and solid hit out to right, and we scored the one for sure. Second one's coming around Brandon. I initially hold him up because I think they're shooting 4 on that. But they're trying to get the out at first. And once we see that and the ball kind of squirts away a little bit too, we send Brandon at that point. So we score the tying and go ahead runs. That was huge from Bronson in that spot. And just to have no fear of failure. Baseball is a game of failure, but you can't fear it.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to go play the game. And sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it don't. But you got to go play the game, and not let anything hold you back. And moments like that, it really get me excited thinking about that because that's guys that are just going competing and they're not worried about failure. So moments like that are big to me.
In the highlight I posted, I mentioned that Bronson was nails on that hit, and I might have wrote this in the article, but if I didn't, I'll say it now. But Carter Steele was nails at third base in the 6th and 7th inning because I believe he had 3 of the last 5 outs.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Bronson where he had the last 3 outs against Chucky Doak, but Carter gets 3 of the last 5 without an error, straight from third to first, on target, and that's a big moment from a freshman.
All 3 of them were smoked, too.
Yeah.
And they were right there on the back. I think one of them had a backhand, the other 2 is right in front of him. And throw all the way across the diamond there, and he had been at second base the whole game prior to that. It's a pretty big adjustment on a throw from second base to third base. That was huge. If he don't make those 3 plays right there, I don't know that we win the game either. So, yeah, he had 3 big plays right there.
We'll wrap up the district tournament with that. They already know. They've already seen it. But since Haun was on the first half, we hit a commercial break already. So we'll just jump right in now. You've got regions on Friday. You travel up to Pigeon Forge to play Pigeon Forge, an area that you're familiar with. That's where the region tournament was held 2 years ago when it was you, South Green, Pigeon Forge, and Alcoa. Now it's you, Unicoi County, Pigeon Forge, and Eagleton grouped up in the Region 1 2A tournament. So 2 days away. What are you feeling at the moment?
Feeling good. We've gave ourselves a chance. You put yourself in a position to go compete and go play. You got some good teams, but we're a pretty good team too. So it's not like we don't know what we're walking into. That's not the case. So just gotta go compete.
Not much to talk about with regions because played Pigeon Forge both times this year.
We just once.
Once,
one game
late in the season, but familiar with them. So it's not like you're going in blind with Eagleton where you haven't seen them this year. So
that's the one team I don't really know anything about. And we've, just talking with some other guys, we kind of got a few things kind of put together in case we do play them. But I've not seen them with my own eyes, no. So that's a little bit of the fear of the unknown, I guess, with that.
Yeah.
But, we know what we got in Unicoi. And
positive thing is you've seen Unicoi 4 times and you've seen Pigeon Forge once. So, I mean, you have eyeballs on those 2 teams. It's just Eagleton's the one that, it's always kind of like that. I think you were that way with Alcoa 2 years ago where you
all we know about
them.
Alcoa is that they were freaking good.
Yeah.
And when we played them, they were freaking good. So I'm glad that they are not, that they've moved up. I'll say that. Good for them.
But I believe that's all we got. This part was heavy on the recap because preview part.
It was a lot to recap, man.
It was, and
that was a tiring week. Like I got home
6 games in 6 days, and Wednesday's
and 5 of them
activities.
tournament games. And tournament games is just so much extra on top of all that. After the game Saturday, we all went out as a team and ate at Amigos up there, Elizabeth, and just like when we got home, I was just like, oh, I just want to collapse and not wake up for 3 days. Just wore out.
It was a cool day Saturday too.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it was very unseasonably cool for district tournament.
I was cold the whole entire time there because I wore about this exact outfit, just shorts and this jacket, and you don't expect it to be 56 with 10 to 15 mile an hour winds.
Overcast.
Yeah. I had 2 Unicoi County parents sitting beside me, I think grandparents sitting beside me for the championship game, and she's got on a hoodie, sweatpants, a blanket, and a toboggan on.
Don't expect that in early May.
No, you don't. Especially when the sun would actually creep out a few times too. It was just a cool day, but I don't think we're getting into that this year. It'll probably be 2 hot days this week in Pigeon Forge on Friday and Saturday. So if you've got the opportunity, Friday and Saturday, up at Pigeon Forge will be the Region 1 2A tournament. West Green starts with Pigeon Forge on Friday. And then after that, you either play the winner or the loser of Eagleton and Unicoi, depending on what happens if you are the winner or the loser against Pigeon Forge. So it's the same motto as always, win 2 before you lose 2.
That's it.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. That's all we got this week. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Tommie's Plumbing, Haun and Sauce Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on First Horizons Green Sports Zone.